Hi, I'm Faye and I'm going to teach you how to play Orbio. First, let me introduce you to the game piece. Each player will have their own dedicated color and you will be controlling these pieces. We call this a tripod. A tripod consists of 4 balls, each with a specific function. The colored ball is called the power ball. This ball will be the attacker in the game and will help you win over others. And these non-colored balls are called the target balls. These balls are what the players will be targeting. So this is the tripod. Next, let me introduce you to the setup. This game can best range from 2, 3, 4, and 6 players. Here is an example of 6 players. Each set of tripods are dedicated to their own color home base. For example, the blue power balls are aligned to the blue color, and it creates this formation. Make sure that's the same with all the other players. Now, to start the game, roll a tripod like a dice, and whoever the colored ball points to will be the starting player. In this case, purple points to blue, so blue will be the first to start the game. The game will proceed clockwise. Now, how do you move? Each player gets 3 moves per turn. You may pivot all 3 turns on one tripod or split it among your 3 tripods. You are not allowed to pivot over another tripod. For example, if green was here, you cannot move over this way. You can only move to here. So no pivoting over other balls. Players may not take back moves once it's made. If you move forward, you cannot move back in your own place. This way, you don't have to keep track of where we were in the original place. Now, how do you attack other players? Now, this is the fun part. For example, to attack, you'll have to rotate your power ball into someone else's target ball. So in this case, if blue wanted to attack green, you would pivot like this, and boom, this piece is striked. Now, once it's striked, you would tip down the piece, and now we call this a dizzy tripod. A scenario that can happen is if there was another tripod behind it, and you attacked green target ball, and it falls onto its own piece, it creates a domino effect. And so goes the same if there were multiple tripods behind it. This can wipe out a lot of players and can be very satisfying and fun to watch. One thing to keep in mind is you cannot attack color to color. It is only color to non-color. Now, how do you eliminate a tripod? There are 3 different ways. Once a piece is dizzy, for example green that we just striked, now it is vulnerable to be eliminated. For example, if this piece has fallen, one way to eliminate is to strike again with your power ball to a target ball. So you are able to strike any of the non-colored balls. In this case, bam. Blue strikes green, a dizzy green, and he is now out of the game. So 2 strikes will get them out. The second way to get eliminated is if you're dizzy and you are struck by a domino effect. In this case, for example, orange strikes yellow, and yellow falls onto green, green falls onto a dizzy piece. Oh no, what happens? Now blue is eliminated. One thing about being eliminated through a domino chain is when a piece falls on your tripod, it doesn't matter what ball it lands on. If it was a colored ball or a non-colored ball, the piece would be out regardless, and that is the case for a domino chain elimination. The third way to get eliminated is to be struck off the board. For example, as you see, green is over here. Imagine players are already moved around the board, and green is somehow situated here. If blue, for example, strikes green, and green falls back where there's no holes and off the border of the board, then green is immediately eliminated. So your goal is to try not to get struck off the board too, because that is an unfair fall. Alright, so now let's move on to how to revive your piece. Yes, you can revive your piece between your own piece and within your players. So there are 2 ways to revive. First is the buddy revive. If green is down and you want to save your piece, what do? you'll have to rotate one of your own players to the dizzy piece by striking the colored power ball to a target ball on its head. So this is the head of the tripod, and the only way to revive this is to touch the color to the head of the tripod. So, for example, green can save its green by rotating onto its head. And now you can stand up like this. One interesting thing is you can also trigger a chain reaction. If, for example, you revive green and it goes back up and it hits another piece, this piece will go down. So be careful of where you place your pieces because you never know what will happen. Now the second way to be revived is called self-revival. Now for this case, if your piece cannot save your own piece, one way to revive is, for example, green just died. If nobody kills green for the next round and it's your turn again, green can revive itself. So now you can revive, but in this case, it is within the 3 holes that you've fallen in. And one fun thing about this is you can choose which direction to face when you're self-revived. Remember, when your buddy revived, your piece will stand up like this. And when you're self-revived, it is revived within its 3 holes. Now let's get to the fun part of the game, which introduces the power cards. Now these are the power cards, and they will give you a series of advantages that will help power you through the game and bring so much laughter and fun. Now how do you earn a card? Now I'm going to introduce you to how the board is set up because this connects to how you can earn a card. So to earn a card, you have to place your power ball into 4 different places to get a card. So you have 4 places you can get a card. So where can you get a card? Alright, as you see, the center hole is available for everyone. It's open to all players. And if you land your colored power ball into the center hole, you may get a card from the pile. And this card can be used anytime throughout the game, so it creates a lot of twists. This is only one spot you can get a card. Now where are the other 3? So it varies for all players. For example, for blue in this case, it can get a card from the center and from its opposite half's center hole. So what does that mean? As you can see, each color has its colored holes. For blue, it will be its center ball and its opposite half. So this will be a place that blue can get a card. Yellow would also be a place that blue can get a card, and red. So its half center holes is where it's able to get its card. So in this case, for yellow, it can get a card from the center hole and from red, orange, and blue. So, for example, blue can get a card here, blue can get a card here, blue can get a card here, and blue can get a card here. One rule for getting cards is once you land into a hole that can get a card, you have to receive your next card at a different hole. So you cannot repeatedly get a card at the same hole. Now, one interesting thing is if you end up getting multiple cards, you have the ability to do combo cards. For example, if you want to peek at the top 3 cards of the deck, you can do that and swap pieces at the same time. So for example, if a player gets a card and you're like, oh my gosh, I want their place, you can swap their piece with your piece. So in this case, it'd be like this. And you can peek at the top 3 cards. So really, cards can be used for so many great advantages and is very fun. Alright, so this is how you play Orbio, and these are all the basic parts of it. And thank you for watching.